Hey everybody, welcome back to Gooseberry Homestead. So we just got back from church and I went ahead and changed into a comfy shirt, rolled up my sleeves, and but I wanted to come outside before I do some dishes, and I wanted to just kind of walk around and do kind of like an overall of the plants on this side of my house, and show you how some of the things are changing and everything, all the plants are getting ready for fall. And I've moved some plants around again, getting everything ready for this fall. And so yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna flip the camera the other direction so that you guys can see my plants. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start closest to the door here, and I have this planter right here that has a bunch of little bulbs in it, and it just took off and started putting out new sprouts and everything. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna be getting any blooms on this. Most of these haven't bloomed. I know in this pot I have hyacinths, and I have grape hyacinths, and there's crocuses, and there's saffron. So I'm not sure which ones are actually gonna come up. So or actually flower for the fall. I think saffron generally tends to have a flower that will come up in the fall, but none of my crocuses and saffron crocuses have ever bloomed for me. So that's what's going on here, but it's just a bunch of green. So we'll just have to wait and see if these make flowers. So right here, now it's not even in the full camera. As you can see, this is my gooseberry hybrid. It's over a crawl space here that goes under the house to access pipes like in the bathroom and kitchen area. But you can see it's like stretching out over here, and it's stretching out over to here, and then it stretches up, like it's getting tall. So probably close to 4 feet tall now, maybe a little bit more. And then down in this region here, it's actually been branching out, and so it's going to start branching out on these points, like there and there and there. Those will branch out too, and so I'm really excited about this. It's getting really tall, so I have a feeling this is going to be a really substantial sized bush when it's all said and done. All right, so right here behind the hybrid, gooseberry hybrid, is one of my stinging nettle plants, and it has actually spread out and has put out more stinging nettles because it's one of those invasive type plants. So if you don't want it taking over in your yard, because it's kind of like mint and it trails underneath the ground, so I like to keep mine in a pot so it doesn't, get everywhere. It's good for medicinal reason. You can turn it into tea, and you can make nettle tea with it, which is really good for coughs. So for the flu seasons and stuff coming up. So anyways, I'm probably going to end up harvesting all the leaves off of this soon again. And then right here we have stevia. I have 2 of those kind of plants. I'm not sure how well I don't know if they overwinter, so I might be bringing these indoors for the winter. I've got rosemary planted in the ground, and so it looks like, let me get down here. I'm not sure if it's getting taller at all, but I'm hoping that it'll grow. I put it in the ground because last winter I had some rosemary, and I'm telling you guys, it died in the pot that I had it in, and it got all moldy, so I couldn't use it again this year. So I put these in the ground, so hopefully they'll just get big. And there's another one right here. In this pot here, I have cherry trees going. Now, I just got the seeds from the cherries that I got at the store. I think I went to Winco and I bought some cherries. And they're grown here in Washington State, the cherries are. And they're either lapins or Bing. I know that lapins and Bings are sometimes it's called lapins Bing or Bing lapins. I'm not exactly sure. Don't quote me. Anyways, but it's a dark red cherry. So I got this one here, and then I have another one right here. And then right here we have a rose of Sharon growing. I actually have 3. I'm planning on bringing these indoors for this winter because it has new growth on it, and I'm afraid that the frost might actually kill the plant. So I'm actually going to bring it indoors for the summer. Pardon me, for the winter. All right, and then this is a native plant. It's a fern. And then right here we have one of my apricot trees. And it looks like somebody busted one of the limbs on it here. So that's not good. I don't know. There's something, it's this area right here next to this window. I've noticed even my plants are getting their like I had my raspberries along here, and a lot of my raspberry bushes would get their leaves broken. So I'm not sure if I have a peeping Tom that's coming and looking through my kids' windows or not, but and they're like busting the limbs when they get close to the window or something. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. But anyways, yeah, this shouldn't be broken. So anyways, I'll probably come out with some scissors and snip that. So, and then we got my tallest apricot right here, as you can see in the height difference. Right down here I have a rhododendra. And I see a dog bomb, so I'm going to try to avoid that. All right, and then we got another apricot. Now this is my shortest one, and it's kind of short and squatty. I'm thinking I'm probably going to end up giving one of my friends an apricot tree. I'll probably give her this one here or this one here. This one I'm definitely going to keep for myself. I kind of want to keep two, but I was thinking about giving one of my friends this one here. Here's my other stevia. This one's really tall. I need to harvest it too. And then I've got my hydrangea bush here that I decided to just go ahead and put in the ground. I don't care if it comes with us when we move, and I figured might as well just leave it here, and it kind of makes it look nice here on the end of the house. Then my raspberry's starting to lose its leaves, and then I've got more raspberries in the corner. And then over here, as we walk, I've got one boysenberry here too. And I've got strawberries that I grew. These are the hula berries. Not necessarily my favorite, but I had a bunch and I figured might as well go ahead and plant them. So we'll see what kind of strawberries I get from these. And then I've got my shadow. So we've got here, we've got my Himalayan pine trees right here, these three. And then right here I have a Norman fir. And then I have a Lebanon cedar right there. And then my tomatoes. I have a bunch of green tomatoes on my cherry tomato, and then green tomatoes on my Roma tomato plant. And I'm pretty much done with these for the season. The weather is getting really, really chilly, and I don't know. I'm gonna let them just do their thing until the very last moment. But yeah. And then I've got my jalapenos down here. I've got one that's turning like black, it looks like. I don't know if that's from the cold at night. It's just on the one side. And then over here, I've got a spider. It's made a big old nest right there. And then I've got another, this is the Brandywine raspberry. And then over here along the fence, I have some apple trees that I grew from seed. This is an ambrosia apple seed. Now I got the apples at, I want to say Walmart. So I have ambrosia, and then I have a koru, and then another koru. And then right down here are my blackberries. I have Washington State Volunteers, and then the other one is just a regular blackberry. It doesn't really specify what type. So yeah, they're starting, you can kind of see the leaves are starting to turn. And so yeah, and then I'm gonna zoom over this way. I've got some empty pots over here, and I actually am going to experiment with my golden berries, and I'm gonna try to overwinter the ones in this purple container right here. I'm gonna bring these indoors and have them under grow lights. And then the other 4 I'm just gonna leave outdoors. I actually have some that are actually getting ripe over here. And you can tell when they're ripe is when the husks around the berry actually turn this pretty yellow color. We can see the color. And the shadows are creating some pretty shadows here. Let's see if I can move it. Here we go. Here's one. So yeah, so these are all getting all ripe. So I'm going to bring in 5 and I'm going to leave the other 5 outdoors. I do not believe that they'll survive the winter. These kind, if you live in a warmer region, you can overwinter them. Like if you're in Southern California, or someplace where it stays warmer longer, like probably even Hawaii, you could probably have them year round, and the plant will actually get really big, and you can just harvest from it for a long time. They're kind of like tomatoes, I guess. So they're called I call them golden berries. I've heard them called that. They're also called Cape gooseberries. So these ones, and they're really delicious. So, and then right here are all of my gooseberries. As you can see, the leaves are changing color. If we can get in here, you can kind of see the red. It's getting kind of red and blotchy, and some of them are actually drying up on some of them. So yeah, I had some grasshoppers eating this one back here in the purple pot. So there's just a few leaves on it right now, but the rest of them aren't getting destroyed by any of the bugs. So yeah, so these are actually changing color, kind of like the fall, and they should all lose their leaves. So yeah. And then over here, I've got 9 different varieties of gooseberries on this. I'm actually gonna probably move them down and put them on the ground too. And then let's see here. Over here, I have corn that didn't make it. Okay, this isn't gonna make it. I'm not gonna be able to harvest anything from it. I planted glass corn, but because I had my barley planted with it, the barley like shot up and crowded the corn. So you can't do that. You can't plant the two together. So because in the past I've grown corn and it grew really quickly, but the barley grew a lot faster and then basically stunted the growth of the corn. So I mean, you're supposed to be knee high by July, I believe is the terminology, but we're just now getting knee high and fall is upon us. So today's kind of a warm day, but I don't think I'm going to be getting any corn. I don't think I'm going to get any silking. But it did grow and it did sprout. So, I mean, I'm happy about that. And I've got sage planted in there now. So as soon as the corn's gone, I'm just going to have my sage in this. I might get another couple sages. This type of variety, though, like I did have this planted with my pineapple sage. But the pineapple sage got so tall that it was crowding my regular sage. So I'm going to get like maybe a golden sage to put in here with this plant, and then maybe two more sage plants. I know that there's some other varieties, so I was gonna maybe get a golden one to plant next to this one, and then I'll have just a pot of sage that I can collect and dry. And then here I have one Meyer lemon tree, which is this one here, and then the rest of them are honey tangerines. These ones will be coming in for the winter. They didn't get very tall, so I don't know if it's just the way that I'm growing them or if it's typical for them to grow fairly slowly. I don't know. My apricots sprung up really quick, and the apple trees are kind of a decent size too, because I started them back in July, and I started the apricots in June, and they're already like 3 feet tall. And then right here are some of the other apple trees, because I haven't put them into bigger pots. They're not as big as the ones over along the fence line. So you've got ambrosia and Karoo apple trees on this section here. I do believe the Karoo are the one, this row with the square pots. Yes, because this one's pretty big size. So yeah, these were planted before the ambrosias, and the ambrosias are the back row. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for this side of my garden. And yeah, so I'm going to be experimenting with a few of the items indoors, the golden berries, and see if I can overwinter those so that I can have them already started for next season. And then I can move them into like individual pots next season so that they can maybe get a little bit taller and produce more. So yeah, kind of excited. I do have my herbs on my fence line off to my right, and maybe I'll show you guys those on another day. So I'll show you all the herbs on another day. And yeah, there's not a whole lot going on over there either, but I mean, it is fall, everything is winding down. I'm not sure if I'm gonna leave these gooseberries where I have them right now, or if I'll end up moving them, you know, up under the eave that we have on the back of the house. They should do all right just where they are for the fall, because they are a winter hardy plant. And I had gooseberry when I was in Germany that had like a foot of snow on it in a terracotta pot, and it was a little bit smaller than the purple pots, and it came back every spring. So these should be just fine. So yeah, and then up on top here, forgot to mention, I have eyelash lavender and goji berries growing. And so I'm thinking I might split up what's in this and put the goji berries in with my single goji berry that's over along my fence line by my herbs, and just put them all in one pot, because they kind of grow all crazy. They kind of almost trail. They almost are kind of like a trailing type bush. I've noticed the other one branched out, and it's already kind of being affected by the weather. So it's kind of losing its leaves and looking kind of sad. But these ones are in a different position on my yard, so I'm thinking, I'm not sure. There's something going on between the two sections of my yard. But my herbs do fantastic over along the other fence line off to the right here. So anyways, I will show you guys that another video, and just wanted to share what's going on in my garden and getting ready for fall. And almost done doing the growing for the season. So yeah, but anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great afternoon. Bye.